never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I am your host, Lord Rick, and tonight's going to be a very special show we got going on. It's our New Year's special edition, and what we got going on is we're going to recap the entire year of investigations, events, new features that are going on within our organization. A lot of people just think, we're this paranormal group that just goes out to cemeteries, and it just goes so much more beyond just that alone. But, before I get all into that, I'd like to wish everybody out there happy holidays. I hope that everybody had a nice Christmas or Hanukkah, or as some of the pagans say, Yule. Mine was pretty great. I don't know whether it was the gifts that made me happy when I opened up a brand new coffee machine. I was just ecstatic, or whether the fact that I got to go out of town and see some really cool places before and after Christmas. But basically, our shows are here so that we can communicate with the public, and not all our shows will be paranormal based. Some of them will discuss urban exploring. Some of them will interview people. I'm always looking to promote other groups. I'm not a greedy guy. There's a lot of amateur groups that are out there right now, and a lot of those groups, they seem to get so cocky towards groups like mine. I mean, we got this guy, and he's out there in Osage Beach. And this is a guy that's been harassing us, so legally I obtained his IP address and we put it on our site. Well, this guy decides to write our host, and the host tells me I have to remove it, of course. If I put a disclaimer on it, I don't have to remove it. But anyway, the guy runs some chapter called the Midnight Society or whatever up in Missouri, and, it's like, where the fuck is Osage Beach, and who the fuck is this guy? This guy's some amateur running a group up in Osage Beach, and he's trying to criticize a group like ours, And so anyways, the guy obviously has a beef with us. So he files the complaint, and I look at his name, and his name is Mike Stickley. It's like, who the fuck is this Mike Stickley? Does that mean, is he Stickly Dickly, or is he Strictly Dickly? I don't know, but you know what they say, when someone acts like they're from Texas, the only two things that come from Texas are queers and stairs. But anyways, so this guy files a complaint, which, it kind of gets us because we're a good organization. We don't go around harassing people. We don't sit there and pick wars. We don't pick fights. We've had a very stellar year. We've had a lot of hardships. I've had a lot of hardships myself. And, I sit back and I think to myself, this has been the toughest year I've ever faced, because this is the year where hundreds and hundreds of urban exploring groups and hundreds of new paranormal groups arose in 2007 and roughly at the end of 2006 too. And a lot of those groups forget. It's guys like me who are promoting you. We're the ones that are putting your links to your website on our site. You're the one that's getting an extra 1,000 hits a year because of guys like me. You're the one that's getting the publicity because we're promoting you out there. Every time I send out an article from, let's say, in the middle of bumfucked Egypt, some paranormal group that's only been around for a year, gets their name out there, and I pass it to thousands of my members. So if anything, a lot of groups should be grateful for guys like me, because I don't do this for the money. I don't make money at what I do, but as a paranormal investigator, of course, this is something that's a lifetime of work, and it's meant to be shared with the public. It's, what people want is a real paranormal investigator. They don't, who the fuck wants to see some guy, sit in a place and let the cameras roll and sit on his ass and drink a cup of coffee? That's not what paranormal investigating is about. So anyways, I just thought to myself, we have two groups right now that are harassing us, and, I wanted to get those out of the way. And the first one is PSI, okay, and the other one is GSI. And, the two obviously are close that run the groups, because the two of them are harassing me. And it's like the one group, GSI, is in Aurora, Illinois. It's like, where the fuck is Aurora, Illinois? Aurora sounds like the fucking movie Aurora. You're sitting out there waiting for the spacecraft to come and take you to outer space. You're like, you're sitting out in the country. You're like, where's the Aurora spacecraft, man? Take me fucking away from here. So, I'm sitting there. This guy here, these two had actually got me on their radio program, and the funny thing is we don't censor our callers, we don't censor our viewers or anything. We want everybody to listen to our show. But, there is a difference between respect and, there's a fine line between the respect and the censorship. And, of course, this guy here brings me on his show to make an ass out of me, which is not going to happen because, I'm a very blunt person. And if I see a sheep, it's a sheep. And if I'm going to call yacht on it, I'm going to call yacht on it. That's just the fucking way it goes. There's other founders who won't even swear because for some reason people think because they're paranormal investigators that they've entered sainthood. There ain't no fucking saints in paranormal investigating. I got news for all you paranormal investigators out there. There's only the afterlife and the unknown and us human beings on this tiny, measly planet. So anyways, as it goes, this guy brings me on his show. He begs me. The show is new. We really need a guest like you on it. So I go on fucking Paranormal Interest Radio. These motherfuckers just sitting in the back, they're fucking laughing. But yet they're lecturing me on professionalism because I trespass. Well, you ain't fucking professional if you're laughing at me. And so anyways, this fucking guy, I never heard of him anyways, he tries to flame my list, and he sits back and he says, you kicked me out of your radio show last week. If I don't want you on my fucking program, you ain't going to be allowed on my goddamn program. That ain't censorship. We just don't want your fucking kind on our fucking show. Because everything we do, whether it's pot smoking, partying, drinking, fucking, paranormal investigating, people like you stand in our fucking way of doing our jobs. So anyways, got these two groups, and it's like, you don't even fucking know who the hell they are. But there's, that's the whole thing. It's all these redneck paranormal investigators that are giving groups like ours a bad name, and it's just so funny. But anyways, now that I got that out of the way, I would like to, at the year's end, give a special thank you to Mike Digital of digitalphotography.com, and that is spelled with the J, so make sure, you don't put the G in there. Make sure you check him out because he's got a lot of abandoned places. And I'll tell you what, exploring abandoned places is cool. Even though I'm a paranormal investigator, there's times we go in buildings, we don't get no activity, but we still enjoy the architecture and the history of these places. And I think that's what makes a lot of other hate groups out there, they despise us because we're not just a ghost group. And we are a very productive organization. And we go out there, we check out lots of places. I'm always up for the adventure, and I'd also like to thank Rob Duffy of Massachusetts Urban Exploring. He did a nice memorial page for urban explorers and my friend that had got killed on a paranormal investigation, and that was very nice of him to put that up because, I'll tell you, guys like me go out there and we risk our lives doing this. There is always a danger in what we do. And people don't see it because they sit back on their computers, and they look at the pictures from these places we go, and they just don't realize all the shit we got to put up with. And, when somebody gets killed, it's like, damn fucking well, I hope you remember me when I fucking die on a paranormal investigation. I want to at least be remembered the same, too. So I'm really glad that he did that. That was a very nice thing of him to do. And, it's been a crazy year for us. It's been a year where there's been a lot of hate groups, and some of you may have seen that Encyclopedia Dramatica, and I think it's just hilarious, because anybody who reads something about my sex life, who I date, what personal ads I got out there, you're just as guilty for reading it, because honestly, who the hell has that much time to collect that much info? And, so this King Flasher, he's going around, he's emailing lady friends of mine trying to ask them what they find attractive about me and what kind of fucking goes on behind off the paranormal list. It's like, what the hell kind of pervert is this? I thought I was a bad boy? Hell. So anyways, I just thought it was hilarious. But it's been a year where I've noticed a lot of people out there have just become so cocky, and they go around saying I'm a big-headed guy, but, when you sit back and you look at me as a founder, I'm almost flawless in the work that I do. I go out there week after week, and, I investigate a lot of places. I send out roughly 30 to 40 articles a day to my list. On some of my investigations, I spend it on the streets. I don't get a hotel. I'm not cocky. I don't have a lot of money to spend. I'm self-funded. And, I'm sitting there and I spend my entire life devoted to helping other people, And last week's show that we did, it was also very good. And we did the show because I wanted to get this Bill Beam's Dark Forest book out because I felt that it was a very good book. And we do what we can to help other people. That's not being big-headed. It's what it is and what people should be doing out there is working together. Paranormal investigators should be working together. But I won't get involved with that other paranormal investigators because what I see is a lot of drama. They all think they're in competition with me. They all get mad if I put pictures out, I'm a fake. Because they they look at the evidence and say, oh, you must be a fake because I ain't getting those photos. It doesn't fucking work like that, man. What life is about when you're doing urban exploring and you're doing paranormal investigating is you're supposed to be working together to help each other out because you got the same goals. You're two of the same people. It's just that a lot of people out there think that it's a race, it's a competition. And there is glory in what we do. Because, I'll tell you what, I'm taking a couple months off. I'm not going to be doing paranormal investigations or any type of exploring for the next 2-3 months because I'm very happy where I'm at right now. I'm very happy to be alive. I'm very happy to be safe. And yes, I do read the chat room, Mike, but it's very hard to keep track of the chat room and try to do the show at the same time. But I do have to get a co-host within the show. We don't have a co-host right now, and we do need somebody who can keep the chat room going. It's kind of hard sometimes to multitask. Last night I was partying. I was kind of celebrating because I was up at a friend's house, and we had smoked a bunch of joints. We were drinking, we were partying, and I deserved it. I went out of town before Christmas. I did all these explorations and investigations, and I turned around the day after Christmas, got on a fucking bus for 7 hours. I had some lady, she took up 2 goddamn fucking seats. Her leg was in my fucking lap. It was like, what the fuck, we goddamn married here? So we sit there, I'm sitting there on the bus. I got a mad toothache. I mean, I've been dealing with this for a year. My wisdom tooth is half broke off. It's bleeding. And I'm sitting there in pain, and I got this big woman. She's like, praise the Lord, please, Jesus Christ, And she's sitting there and fucking talking about faith and the Lord, and I'm thinking, I'm the fucking Lord, lady. And if you shouldn't be sitting in the seat, I get 2 seats here, All the fucking seats on the bus, you got to sit next to fucking me. Put your leg in my fucking lap. I'm fucking getting grossed out. This lady's like fucking 500 fucking pounds, It's like, Jesus Christ. Faith? What kind of faith do you got to fucking have for that? I have faith that I'll get off the goddamn bus fucking alive and you don't squash the fuck out of me. There's faith. So anyways, it was just a hell of a bus trip, and I got up into Savannah, and, Savannah's always been my dream. It was either Savannah or New Orleans, Louisiana. And I figured, Louisiana's a clusterfuck. Let's face it, right now there's a lot of homeless people, there's a lot of crime on the streets. It's not wise to go out there, even though the city's filling back up. It's bad out there, and the cops are more corrupt than ever before. I wasn't going to go to New Orleans. So, I ended up going to Savannah. Savannah's, you got a few miles of just historical Victorian homes, buildings. There's like over 15 squares, and each square goes a couple 100 feet, and each square has a monument, wrought iron fences, historical plaques, giant oak trees, but each square is like a little tiny park. And in between the squares are all surrounded by old cathedrals, old buildings, and every one of those buildings has a haunted story to tell. But I went out to Savannah, and I think I did a very stellar job. I spent the night on the streets. I didn't get no hotel. I didn't stay at no bed and breakfast. I pretty much, the way I did things was that I had roughed it, because that's the only way you're going to see something. And so I spent a good few hours walking around Savannah, and people think all these tourist places are all that. They sit there and they think, oh, I'm going to a tourist place, but you don't see the dark side of these places. You start going down a few fucking alleys, you start going outside of town, you start running into ghetto, gangs, people with knives, drug dealers, prostitutes, and I'm on my investigation. All I got is a backpack. I got a couple waters, couple snacks. I got all my equipment on my back. And, I started hiking on into town, did a battlefield. I made a few stops at the visitor center. I was amazed by the historical buildings. There's just tall buildings. Some of them are made out of wood from the early 1800s. You're dealing with some structures even from the 1700s. It's an old historical town. And it's like St. Augustine, Florida, but it's like 10 times bigger. And there's a lot more historical structures remaining because St. Augustine was destroyed. But Savannah is very much well intact, despite the city had burned down, the Revolutionary War and the Civil War was fought in it, and people died. A lot of people died. But it was a pirate town. And I walked around the city, and I stopped at all these old structures to get photos because they're all haunted. And, a lot of buildings have these big columns and creepy windows, and you know, I see all these other fucking ghost tours going on, you know, and I walk in the cemetery. There's this really famous haunted cemetery, and there's a fucking ghost tour that comes on in, and I'm taking pictures, and they're all looking at me, and you know, you can tell people are scared to be in the cemetery. They all got their hands in their pocket. They're like, oh, boo, you know, the ghost is gonna get me. Fucking cemetery's half lit. The people are scared. The guy's like probably fucking loving to give the tour. He's like, yeah, ching, $200 tonight, you know. And me, you know, I'm in there, I'm taking my photos. And, you know, the cemeteries in Savannah are totally amazing. Even if you're not a Ghostbuster, you're not in the ghost or anything like that. These graveyards are very Gothic looking, very European looking in Savannah. A lot of the graves have giant columns. Some of them are like stone coffins with crosses on them. Some got engravings, statues that are 200 years old. Just all kinds of prominent people, generals, colonels, captains from different wars, revolutionary soldiers, just all kinds of people are buried in these cemeteries. And I ended up, you know, walking around Savannah, and I went up there, and I did Laurel Grove Cemetery, which is in the ghetto, and you know, there's gangs around, they're staring at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing in the goddamn projects? This, you know, some white guy in the project, they're thinking to themselves, this guy's fucking nuts. You know, this guy must be crazy or gonna butcher us. So, you know, I couldn't get in the goddamn cemetery. I was at the wrought iron gates, and some fucking worker for the cemetery pulled in front and waited for me to go. It was like, yeah, I'm hurting your cemetery by taking a picture of it, you know. So I go all the way around into the woods, and I fucking climbed this huge-ass fucking tree, ripped my fucking pants. I stepped in some fucking swamp up in wetlands or something, and so my feet were wet the entire night of hiking around, which is the worst goddamn thing. Even if you got a pair of extra socks, you know, your shoes are wet, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So I walked around Laurel Grove Cemetery, and it was like, this is my first cemetery in Savannah. The place is just goddamn creepy. It wasn't even dark out, and I'm walking around, and I'm just like, you see these fucking giant crypts just crumbling, and gray coffins almost exposed, and it's one of these cemeteries that goes for a half a mile, and it's on a hill. There's hills, and there's woods, and it's creepy, you know? So I got done doing that, and I got out of there, and I did another cemetery in more Savannah, and I started fucking heading on outside of Savannah. And I'm going down this highway, and there's no fucking sidewalks. Cars are coming past me. I'm like, God, this might be my last fucking breath. Tractor trailer might come by. Tractor trailer might hit me. I might not make it out of Savannah. And so I get up the road, you know, and I see two gas stations. Okay, I'm sitting there thinking, God, there's no fucking McDonald's in this town, you know, no McDonald's in Savannah. So I'm fucking dying. I'm like, I want McDonald's. I want a fucking cheeseburger, a Happy Meal. Give me something, for God's sakes. I get down to the gas station, and I walk on in there, and they have no fucking roller dogs. It's like, where's the roller dogs? The woman's on the phone talking with her boyfriend, you know, and then I go to the other gas station, same old fucking shit. No fucking coffee. I'm freezing my ass off. There's no fucking hot dogs. There's no food. You know, I only got a few snacks in my fucking bag. All the man wants is a fucking hot dog and a cup of coffee. Accidentally, I walk past behind the gas station, I see a fucking cemetery out in the woods. It's an abandoned one. There's no fucking graves, and it's so overgrown that the fucking thorns were pricking me in the face and everything as I was trying to climb through the brush. And, you know, I investigate the cemetery. Creepy as hell. I don't know if any of you have ever done things by yourself at night. I'm one of the very few paranormal investigators in this country that will actually go into the woods by myself at night. I take a lot of chances. I'm a very big risk taker. But anyways, do we have a call? No, we don't. Anybody's welcome to call the show. But anyways, as I go on, as I went off into the woods, and I am walking around the woods, and, you know, there's movement, and you know there's ghosts, you know there's things going on. It's like there's no fucking graves. The ghosts are angry. I mean, this place isn't even on the map. It's not even listed. Some no-name abandoned cemetery. And, you know, I went through it. I walked through it a couple times. Something threw a beer bottle at me. But it's all good, you know, and that's what I'm out there for, is I'm out to experience the activity so I can sit there and tell my fans, hey, you know, these ghosts can throw beer bottles, man. So anyways, after that went on, I made it up to Fort Jackson, and there's wolves out in the Georgia woods. I was very limited in what I can do. I mean, we're talking 21 miles of hiking on foot. I didn't have no taxi, I didn't have no bus, I didn't have no rental car. I roughed it, because that's the only way to enjoy freedom, is to get a backpack and just fucking go. Get on the bus and just fucking go, man. So I'm sitting there, and I'm hiking to some fort in the middle of the woods. There's refineries. It's like this really dirt road out there, and there's nothing out there, you know, just woods, swamps, and there's wolves, and something big was moving around out there, and I'm thinking, God, you know, I grabbed my fucking knife because, I mean, honestly, a wolf has no problem tearing you to shreds. I mean, speaking of wolves, when I was out in Cedar Key, we had seen a wolf, and this is Florida, so there are wolves down south. And I'm out there walking in the woods, and I couldn't get into the fort. They had it locked down really good, but I was able to walk around it. I almost fell in the fucking off the moat. I was doing stupid stuff. I was climbing the railings and shit, just fucking around, you know. You get bored when you're by yourself. You start to do things that you normally don't do. I'm thinking, if I fall in this fucking water, it's like 10 feet fucking deep, I'm going to be fucking swimming with the goddamn alligators. So anyways, you know, I had to cut through the thick woods to get to the fort and stuff, because this place is like Fort Knox. They got barbed wire, and they got razor wire and fences, and you know, I wanted to go out there at night, and I stayed a little bit. I don't know if it was really worth the 5-mile hike, but I went all the way out there on foot. Got done with that, and I went to a cemetery 4 miles away in not a nice neighborhood. There was a fucking McDonald's, you know, and I was like, I thought I seen fucking heaven. I'm like, I must be goddamn fucking dead. I see McDonald's, I see the golden arches, I'm like, I'm in fucking heaven. I started fucking dancing, you know. I got fucking McDonald's is closed, so I go up to McDonald's and I tell the guy, I go up to drive-thru, and there's this young dude, you know, he's some white dude, and he's just like, you know, he's got Parisons, he seemed like he's a cool guy, and I said, man, I need food. I said, I need hot food. I said, your fucking gas stations in this town ain't got no fucking roller dogs. So I turned around, and, you know, I convinced the manager to get me a hamburger, and the guy stuck me an apple pie, you know. And there's a guy in drive-thru. He's trying to run me over. He's pissed off because I'm standing at drive-thru. It's like, so what? You got a fucking car, man. I've been hiking 20 fucking miles. So who fucking cares? So anyways, I order a hamburger, and it says 1 mile hike to Bonaventure Cemetery. And people think, you know, Bonaventure Cemetery is just that. It's a cemetery, and it's not. It was the site of a plantation. It sits on a bluff. It's labeled the most beautiful and one of the most haunted cemeteries in the country. And, you know, I ended up going in, and it's not an easy place to get into, but I got in. I went in, and all of a sudden it gets really thick. It's just instantly woods, pitch black, no moon out. And, you know, their statues look like they're looking at you. But the gravestones in this cemetery are big. The monuments are 50 feet high of some of these burials. There's this one Jesus statue that's twice my size on this platform. There's Gothic stones. There's stones from the mid-1800s. But, I mean, these stones are bigger than, I mean, some of them are 20 feet large. Some of the crypts are huge. Just they got this whole road full of crypts, you know. And it was very dark out there, and I wanted to mainly hike to the bluff, which is the river because it extends out on a peninsula. I go out to the bluff, and I leaned over the edge. It's like a 30-foot drop, almost a cliff. And I leaned over the edge to look, and something fucking grabbed me. I mean, it literally put its hands on my backpack and shoved me. I didn't go over, but I felt it, and I turned around really quick, and nothing was fucking there. But I felt a strong fucking grip. You know, and then I backed away from the bluff, and I thought, well, maybe it's not a good idea. There is something out here. And I think the scariest part of the whole investigation was there was this bird that sounded like it was dying. It was just squawking and screaming, and it just the whole time I was in the cemetery. And it's so easy to get lost. I mean, you got like 20 dirt roads in the cemetery. They go off in the woods all different directions. And, you know, it was pretty peaceful there, but it's like, you talk about a creepy place. I can see why it's one of the most haunted places. And they have a lot of famous people buried there. And, I started hiking back into town, and, I finished up. I found a Catholic cemetery on the way by accident. And, I did a lot of cool places. Went back to the battlefield, and I even finished off the night at a museum. That place was pretty cool. They had all these old trains from Georgia. I don't know if any of you like to explore old trains out there, but, I had a lot of fun, but my legs were hurting so bad I could not climb any of the trains. I mean, hell, I had to climb a wall, like a 7-foot wall, and that just killed me. I couldn't even use my legs to climb it. I had to literally take my arms and pull myself up to get up there. And I walked around the train depot. My batteries were out, and I just, I finished it off real quick. I fucking slept behind a church for like 20 minutes. I just was like a homeless person just lying there on the sidewalk, and then when Burger King opened, man, I ran in fucking Burger King and I ordered myself a big-ass breakfast. And then, of course, the bus ride home for 7 fucking hours and the delays and all the bullshit. And that's what I want people to realize. It's like this is the type of shit we've done all year long. We've had a good fucking year of paranormal investigations. We put a lot of content on our site. We've made a lot of sacrifices. And all these paranormal investigators that go around saying, oh, we don't make no sacrifices, well, that's your problem. You're never going to see a ghost, and you're never going to see anything unless you're willing to put your own self at risk. That's just the way paranormal investigating works. You have to go out there, and you have to deal with the cold, the rain, the drug dealers on the streets, sleeping in the back of a church, because this isn't about class. This isn't about competition. It's about going out there and doing the job that you're supposed to fucking do. And, we had a very good investigation of Savannah. I didn't have no help with it, but I had a mileage chart, and I did hike a good 21 miles on foot. I mean, and that's nothing, because back in the 1800s, them people would ride horses. They would travel on foot easily 20 miles to the next fucking town. That's the way they did things 200 years ago. You would march. You would just keep fucking marching through the woods. So, I figured if they can do it, Lord Rick can do it, right? So I brought back a really nice trip from Savannah. I can't wait to get it on the site. It's not going to be up for a few weeks. I got a lot of research I got to add in. I got hours upon hours of EVP, which is electric voice phenomena. Basically, it's ghostly voices that you get on your recorder. And, anybody could really do it. But it also takes some talent, because it's not going to just happen by leaving your recorder on. Sometimes you really got to look for the ghost, and you got to get the ghost to talk on it. It's not as easy as it sounds. And it really is amazing once you do it. If it doesn't turn you into a believer, nothing's going to turn you into a believer. If you're in the cemetery by yourself and you get another voice on your recorder and it's not yours, you need to start waking up and saying, hey, maybe there's something going on here. Maybe the afterlife is very real. So in addition to that, I would like to at least talk a little bit about what had gone on during the year. If anybody wants to call in the show, they want to ask me a question, I'll tell you what, you can go ahead, you can call in, I'll take any questions. Looking at the chat room. Well, I think Mike would make a good co-host. I mean, honestly, I think that, I do this type of stuff for my friends, I do this type of work because I enjoy meeting people, I enjoy making friends, and that's the whole thing. It's like, we're all in this to have fun. But then there's some people that write me and say they get pissed, they get jealous because they're like, you're having too much fun. It's like you only live life once. Fucking go out and do it, And that's what this radio show is about. It's about having fucking fun, man. I mean, I don't care if we get a couple co-hosts going on, because I know that my show is not going to do what other shows do on the net. I listen to other shows sometimes, and there are other paranormal shows on Now Live. And, I see what their whole fucking game is. They think that I'm an idiot, It's like they're in it for another reason. But we're in it just to have a good time, use our freedom of speech, and whatever. But, yeah, exactly. There are a lot of people out there that are fucking boring. People don't intrigue me very much on the internet. I mean, I've been doing this type of work for a long time, and I have to say, when I first started off, people were pretty cool. You know, people wanted to fucking smoke, they wanted to hang out, they wanted to see places and do things, and now everything's become so mainstream. Everybody's doing the same goddamn shit. Nobody's original. I mean, all the paranormal groups, they all want to be like TAPS. They all want to be like the show. They want to do the same thing. They want to go to the same fucking places. It's like, find your own fucking places. Do your own fucking thing. Nobody's setting rules. If you sit there and you follow the rules that cops lay out and politicians lay out, you're never going to enjoy life unless you go out and you do it. I smoke because it's my right to. Just like if I want to go make a porn movie with some woman on Now Live, because I got a couple porn stars on my friends list, and they're real girls. If I want to make a porn movie, that's my business. But of course, you know, we have this guy, and you know, he goes by King Flasher. Apparently, he's interested in my sex life. It must be that intriguing to want to know about a paranormal founder's sex life, like I do something different that other guys don't do. I think what it is that some of these people suffer from, they have the gay gene in them, because it's like every one of these guys that almost hates our organization or hates me is gay. It's like, what is it with you, man? You jealous because I got females kissing me in my pictures? That's got to be what it is. Because quite frankly, they seem like they're fucking more interested in my sex life. And what's that make? When a guy's interested in another man's sex life, what does that make them? Think about it very, very carefully. So, you know, if you read it on the net, chances are it's probably not fucking true, man. You know, if you read shit about me, chances are you might as well just fucking ask me straight out, because I'll tell you the truth. You don't need a website to read shit about when you can just ask me directly. And that's the nice thing about me, is that I'm not like these other founders. I don't sit there and put on an act and say, I don't smoke. Why lie? Why fucking lie? It's not going to prove nothing. It's just because, you know, maybe some people lie to get where they are. For example, you know, maybe the ghost hunters and TAPS, you know, they got to be all, you know, like they're perfect. And it's like, you don't have to act that way. But they have to act that way to get the ratings. Me? Fuck that shit. You don't like me on the air? Kick me off the goddamn air. You know, at least I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to be happy doing what I'm fucking doing. But anyways, you know, I would like to talk, before I get into a few other issues, I would like to talk about my recent trip up to Cedar Key. Now, Cedar Key is a fishing village. It's, you know, it's like a pirate town. It's north of Tampa, like 90 miles. And, of course, I did have someone very special off MySpace take me up there. I couldn't have done it any other way, because right now my car is a piece of shit. I always buy older cars and I fix them up. That's what I like to do, you know. I like to fix my own cars. And I went up to Cedar Key. It's one of these places that has a couple hundred people living on the island. And you know, this is going to be really funny, because, you know, we went up to Redneckville or whatever. There's no gas station for 40 miles. And we're wandering these dirt roads looking for the ghost town of Rosewood, because the whole fucking town burned down. People died. It's creepy out there. And you got, you know, these people build their houses on where these people fucking died. I mean, their skeletons were fucking cindered to death, and these people got these houses sitting on them. And, you know, there's some big dog barking. We're hiking in the woods. We're thinking, you know, we might as well get back in the cars. You know, these people got big dogs. Big dogs will bite. I mean, they won't bite. They will kill, because you are trespassing. So, you know, we went to Rosewood. We went to this giant shell mound. It's like 8,000 years old in the middle of the woods. And we hiked all the way around the mound, and it had a beautiful view of the Gulf of Mexico. You know, we did this really awesome cemetery on an island. That was gorgeous. I mean, you should see the giant stones that they had. There were just slabs and all these fancy stones, and they're all weathered because the hurricanes hit there. So, you know, it's a lot of sea captains are buried, and it was a really cool place. And, you know, then we took some time and walked downtown in Cedar Key. We did downtown, and on our way back, you know, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking on the beach. You know, there's a little fucking beach there, and And you go off to your right, and you can go on the docks and stuff, and there's old pubs and bars and restaurants. And I see movement, and I'm thinking, is that a goddamn pelican? Because, sometimes you get these giant birds on the beach, and they're fucking eating fish and shit. But I see movement. And then all of a sudden, I get closer with my fucking camera, I'm getting ready to snap a picture. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be fucking awesome to put on the site. And I see some girl, he's got some girl bent over, he's grabbing her ass, and he's fucking her from behind. And I'm fucking looking like, huh, okay. And I'm ready to snap a goddamn fucking picture, And this guy, apparently he must have heard us, so he's fucking like a goddamn rabbit. He's going faster and faster and faster. It's like Jesus Christ, man. Now I've seen it all on my paranormal investigations. I'm usually the one that's doing it in the cemetery or out in the open, and this guy's on the fucking beach. It's not even a beach. It's just a little next to the road, this little sandy area, and you got a park. It's behind it's the park, and next to it's the condominiums, and then on the other side is the bars and the docks with the boats. This guy's out there, he's fucking doing some chick, and he didn't give a shit that I was looking. I was like, I asked the woman I was with, I was like, is that what I think? Because, my eyes play tricks with me. When I go out at night, I have good night vision, but the problem is that I look through things. I don't look at anything. I look through things. I look through windows. When I go exploring and stuff like that, I don't just stare at something, and that's what happened. I was looking through. I wasn't looking at, so I was walking up to these people having sex. And, of course, that's just, I don't know if these people were embarrassed or what, but I'll tell you what, that guy, he was getting it on with this girl, and, so we just left him alone, obviously. I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, can I watch? So we go up to this pub, because I want a picture in front of the pub. I put my Santa beard on. I put my Santa hat on. And I'm sitting there with my Santa hat, and some guy's like, is that fucking Santa Claus out there? Everybody, the whole bar's like, Santa Claus, hey, and they're sitting there looking for fucking Santa Claus, and I'm fucking running for my life. I'm thinking, God, this is all I fucking need is a bunch of drunks chasing me down the fucking road, thinking they're drunk, so they think I'm the real fucking Santa Claus, and I got gifts or something in my sack. But I don't got gifts in the sack. I got paranormal equipment in the sack, So I'm running, it's like, you get a bunch of, that's what these people do on the island. They're just fishermen. They make their money off the sea, they fish for clams, they go fishing and stuff, and they gather the shrimp and they sell it, and that's their market out there in Cedar Key. So, it was just one of those things, it's like you don't want to mess with these drunk guys. These guys want to fight. Obviously, if I lived on an island and I was that bored, what else is there to do? Fight, fuck, fight some more, and drink. That's all there is to fucking do. And speaking of all there is to do, just a few miles outside the town, there's dirt roads everywhere, and these people live on these dirt roads in the middle of nowhere. And, we're driving, and there's some fucking girl in the middle of the fucking woods. Some girl, she's like sweating and fucking just stumbling along. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And I go up down the fucking road, and she gets startled and jumps out of the fucking way. It's like, these people got issues, man. I cannot wait to move out of Florida, because it's like, that's kind of weird, you're going down some woodsy road, your car could get stuck. That's how bad these roads are in Florida. And you got some fucking woman, 2 in the morning, walking down the road. She's drunk. It's like, you got to be fucking bored to be in the woods. Even I'm a paranormal investigator, you ain't going to catch my white ass in these woods too long, especially walking by myself down this fucking road. I don't know what the fuck's in those woods, but I'll tell you what, on the way back, we seen a wolf. So I know what's in those woods. I know what's in the Florida woods. And people laugh and they think, they laugh about Florida and stuff, but I'll tell you what, this is a very strange state. It's one of the strangest states I've ever lived in. Everything is backwards down here. The people are backwards. The cops are corrupt, more corrupt cops than anything. They will take you on a back road. They will taser you. They will kick you in the stomach. They will beat you fucking down, and they will laugh, because this state has more corruption than anywhere else. And I'll tell you what, a lot of those things happen on them back roads. People come up missing all the time, and that's why I'm done for a few months. I've put out a good 4 years in Florida. I've done a lot of dangerous places, done a lot of secluded places, and I've met my goals down here. The only place I never really got to go is down to the Coral Castle area or the Tallahassee areas, but I've done most of the state of Florida. You know, I've been through most of these towns, and I've been through a lot of the back roads and off-road. And this year, in the beginning of this year, we did more off-roading than anything before. You know, we did a lot of springs out here. We did a lot of, like, we did a place called Split Oak Forest this year, Rock Springs and Cavern, and that place was pretty cool. It was a rainstorm, and we were out there for 3 hours in hurricane-like winds and rain. We made our third trip this year to St. Augustine, and, you know, we did, but like I said, we've done a lot of places. Went up to Walaka Forest and the Royal Indian Mound. We did a lot of woods in the beginning of this year. Devil's Mill Hopper, that was another place. Giant sinkhole, and you got to hike down into it. Owl Island was another one. And that place, of course, you know, you got to go through alligator lagoons just to get on the island. It's dangerous. Those alligators are fucking thrash, and they want to. The only thing those alligators want to do is they look at you and they're like, "I want to fucking eat you," you know. And there are a lot of dangers that go on in the state. Yeah, I seen that in the chat room. The Jersey Devil trip, that was probably our biggest trip of the year. You know, a lot of people don't give me credit for that, but I think I deserve a lot more credit than what people are given. I went out there in February. I was very ill. I had got cut in the neck hiking out in Florida, and you got to be careful in Florida because there is flesh-eating bacteria. If you get cut by the wrong plant, you can die. Because once that flesh-eating bacteria happens, you have to get amputated. There's nothing way around it. You have to amputate it and kill the fucking bacteria. Well, I had bacteria. It was not the flesh-eating kind, but it cut me on the chin, and I had fevers, dementia. I had all kinds of things wrong with me, and I flew out 2 days, 3 days later after the hike, and I thought, oh, I'm getting sick. You know, I got a sore throat. It wasn't that. I was running an infection and a fever. And I'm out in the fucking New Jersey Pine Barrens. You know, I'm hiking. I put 1,000 miles in the Pine Barrens on that truck I rented. That's how much off-roading I did, was almost 1,000 fucking miles of off-roading. To ghost towns, to historical sites, to abandoned buildings. We did an asylum. I mean, it was just stop and go for 5 fucking days. Hiking, sometimes hiking for 8 miles in a row. We did an 8-mile fucking hike. You know, and it was tough. There's no breaks in these trips. There's no time to sit down and say, hey, let's just chill out. Let's have pizza and beer. You don't get that time. You get off the plane, you get in your fucking, you rent your vehicle, you get in the truck, and next you know, you're in the goddamn Pine Barrens. And we spent time in the Pine Barrens. We looked for the Jersey Devil. We visited some places. For me, were just historical sites that I was enjoying. It wasn't all about Jersey Devil or Ghost. I just wanted to be able to visit all these old furnaces and boilers and all that. And, you know, it was kind of strange when we did that trip, because I had one guy with trained military experience, and he was scared. I mean, he was scared. He told me, I don't want to off-road with you. You scare me. I feel like I'm going to die. Because I am a very good off-roader. I'm probably one of the best off-roader drivers you're going to find. And I can fly over them fucking hills at 60, 70 miles a fucking hour. And that's what I was doing. I was fucking going down wagon roads that were no more narrow than 6 feet wide. I was driving through water 4 feet fucking deep. I didn't get us stuck. We did a wonderful job in the Pine Barrens. And we covered our grounds, and we did our night hikes. I camped out on the ground in -5 below. The guys had tents. They had fucking mats. Not me. I slept right out in the open. I figure, what the fuck? You know, I want to be out here if something happens. And it was pretty nice camping. It was cold. I mean, it's, you know, -5 is not easy to camp in. But we had a fire going. We had food. We ended up leaving our campsite, and we ended up hiking into a ghost town and a cemetery. Then we came back to the campsite, and we hung out and we chilled. It was a great time. Problem was that the one guy I was with has a tumor in his brain, and he ended up losing his mind on the investigation. He has a tendency to do that. We no longer talk because it was he was just becoming overwhelming. I mean, he was fucking panicking and freaking out 5 days into the investigation. And the other one was a kid. You know, I call him a kid because, he spent the whole time on the cell phone. He didn't even bring an extra change of socks. He had no equipment with him. You're going in fucking camping and you don't bring nothing. If you don't go prepared and you fucking croak, that's your own goddamn fault. And, he relied on a book which did not have scales, I can't even say it properly, blah, 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 but he did not have a proper map to these ghost towns. They were not to scale, they were not right, they were inaccurate, and I had everything mapped out where they were supposed to be, latitude, longitude, that we could type into the GPS system. And we almost did find everything but a few places, because you got like 100 places hidden out in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. I mean, there's just hundreds of places out there, and you gotta, some of them are so bad that you gotta hike on foot to them. And you got all these stone structures and buildings hidden in the woods, and a lot of them are hard to find unless you got GPS coordinates or you got like certain like directions. Go a mile here down this dirt road, make a left, go 3 miles, look to your right in the woods. But we found, out of 30 places, I'd say we found 21. And the other places we drove around down creepy roads, couldn't find them at night, but it was still fun. It was fun off-roading, and that was a big trip for us. And you look at all these other ghost groups, it's like these ghost groups harassing us. I laugh. It's like, who the fuck are you, man? I fucking been to New Jersey Pine Barrens. Have you fucking been to New Jersey Pine Barrens? When there's something to brag about, I'm more than just a paranormal investigator. That's the thing. Now I got this talk show, and people out there can actually hear me. And this talk show goes not just on Now Live. It doesn't just go on our site. It goes on YouTube. People can listen to it on their iPhone. Some people want me to send them and upload them the episodes. So it goes out. I mean, despite what people think, some guys like, well, only 20 listen to it. You're fucking wrong, man. This thing's going to stay up for 10 fucking years. It's going to be thousands that are going to listen to my shows. And anybody I promote is going to be well promoted too, because it's thousands of people that are going to learn who the heck you are, So anyways, New Jersey was the biggest trip of the year. And then, of course, I worked with a lot of trips, a lot of extreme trips. I did Rattlesnake Island. I had to hike through alligator-infested swamps on foot, and we ended up hiking to a fort. We did some dangerous, life-threatening things this year. I went out to Gainesville for my first time. I did a few ghost towns. I did a lot of famous places. I did Ma Barker's Hideout. They made movies about that, So, it was a pretty big year for us. Visit the World Trade Center site, which still saddens me because it's a big part of my life. And I have had people join my support group because I don't just run a paranormal group, I run a support group too. And I've had 2-3 people die that have lost a loved one in the World Trade Center tragedy. So I went to the World Trade Center place because, they got something going on there. They're rebuilding. It's really weird when you look at it. It's not what you see on the news. It's not what you expect. But I went there because I have to, the thing is that as a paranormal investigator, I have to make peace with all spirits. I can't be biased in my work. I have to be able to go to places that tragedy takes place too. And I have to go to these places not just to investigate them, but to visit as well. And, the last few months, I will have to say, of our organization has been stellar. People don't realize it, but, we've gotten in the last few months ghost pictures, EVPs. I've had a lot of people help me. If you notice from our investigations, I've had a lot of people on my investigations because I allow anybody to come out with me. A lot of them haven't worked out. They quit because it is very hard what we do, and a lot of people just don't make the team. I don't condemn people for that. There's no hatred. If they can't make it, they can't make it. I understand that some people can't hike 20 miles. I understand some people can't climb walls. I understand some people get so scared that they just don't want to deal with this. What I don't understand is the people that dick me around and lie, and they don't submit their pictures. But we've had big trips. I mean, look at what I've done. I've done all them places in Brooksville. How about in Tangerine, Florida, when we went out and did the Langdale homestead, or we investigated that old house next to where there used to be an asylum. Let's not forget, I went out and I did Disney's Animal Kingdom. I did MGM Studios, Jungle Prada, which is supposed to be one of the most evil sites in Florida. How about the search for the Barden Booger? We did that. It's a creature that is very famous up in the Barden Woods. And, you just look at all the work we've done. And not only that, but we've also had a lot of new site features. If you look at our site and you go to our main page, hold on, we got a question here. It says, Rick, did you ever look if there's any special significance to the clamshells on the graves in Cedar Key aside from keeping them from washing out in the storms? No, actually, I thought that the clamshells were put there to keep the dirt from, obviously washing up the graves because there's a lot of rain and storms up in that area. But I did notice something. All the clamshells that are on the grave are, one, the largest clamshells I've ever seen, and two, the clamshells all face downward almost on every grave. You don't have them disorganized, although on one grave I seen them in a circular pattern with one in the middle, almost like they were pet graves possibly. I noticed that. But there was 2 cemeteries I did in Cedar Key, and both of them had clamshells on the grave. It was the only cemeteries I've ever done in Florida that had clamshells on the grave. I thought it was kind of weird. But yeah, I did forget to mention that, so don't worry, Mike, I'm going to be getting baked later. But yeah, we have a lot of new features on our site. If you notice, I did have our site a pay site, and I will tell you why I did this. I did it because I was getting tired of people going to places that I vandalized. So I ended up hiding the investigation archives, and people did pay a subscription for a while, but it wasn't about the money. I was giving out subscriptions for free anyways. I was like, I know who you are. You get my fucking site for free. I changed it back to a free site, though. I did it for the good of the people because I didn't want to deprive people of my work. I wanted people to see the work that we've done, the places that we go. I'm very concerned because I like to protect the places I go. I don't want some group, let's say, for example, TAPS goes on my website and they pick a place. They go and they investigate that place. They're going to make money. They're going to get paid by Sci-Fi. Not only are they going to get paid, but then 1,000 people are going to donate to them for going to that fucking site. And it's, guys like me, we ain't making money. We find these sites on our own. We go to them. We investigate them. We take pictures of them. We put them on our site. But we don't put them on our site so other people can make money. We put them on the site so you can learn something. And, so I reverted the site back for free because we had a lot of hate groups that said, you're nothing. You haven't been anywhere. And it's like, the fuck I haven't. I've done 800 investigations. I've been to almost 700 places and done 800 paranormal investigations. And that's a lot. When you sit down and you count the amount of places we've been and the amount of woods and abandoned buildings, you start to look at that and say, well, what counts is this guy productive? That's what matters. It's not really the evidence we put out. It's the fact is, are we going out there and looking around? Yes, we are. We're putting ourselves in that situation. So, I reverted the site back free because I wanted these hate groups to see, it's like, you can't take that away from me. I got pictures at every place I go to, pictures of me in front of almost every place. And I do that on goddamn purpose because for some reason people think that I keep going to the same places and taking pictures. It's like, are you fucking out of your mind? I am a paranormal founder that loves to travel. I could travel the whole world, but I still never would see everything in this world. Just like it's like urban exploring. You go out there, you got thousands of places you want to go, but there just is never enough time to see them. There's abandoned places out in England, Sweden, there's places all over the world to trespass at, and you just don't have enough time to see everything. And so I do a lot of high volume investigations because I want to see shit. I don't want to just sit on my ass all fucking day. I'd rather smoke and get up off my ass and smoke while I'm seeing these places, So anyways, I opened up a lot of new features on the site. I opened up our own sports association and hockey team. I have not dealt a lot with it, but we did open up a message board besides our team page on the site. I will not start the team till I get out to California. Basically, it's just, a way for the guys to get together and get together and fucking play soccer, basketball, definitely hockey, because it's something I'm very good at. I'm a very good hockey player, and I want people to be able to get together and have jerseys and have a sports team. So I formed the Sports Association. I formed our musicians and artists page, which seems to be working because we're on the back of a CD cover already, the Paranormal and Ghost Society. And that's just so bands can promote their music through our site. We promote you, you promote us. It works both ways. But it's a wonderful idea, and it works. We have also opened up the Paranormal and Ghost Society personal ads. Some people, these ads get 1,000 hits a month. You might donate $25, and if you tell me to post a personal, I'll put a personal up for you for a year. And, even if you're just looking for friends, whatever, man. But it's out there, and people are going to write you and talk to you. It works. And that's what we offer. I also put the Television Producers, Authors, and Literary Radio Show Host Guild. And basically the guild's for, anybody who is going to use this in their book from now on will be put into the guild. And it goes both ways because we're here to promote you. You're here to promote us. We've added a directory to our site with descriptions. We got a lot of new features. We got a lot of message boards. We opened up the bulletin board system. I want to thank Mike Digital because he did help me build that. I couldn't have done it without him because I don't understand PHP very well. But the private board's nice, We don't have a lot of people on it, but there's no censorship. It's owned by me. You can say what the fuck you want on it. You're not going to get tossed. You can create a profile with a picture. If I know you, I'll approve you on the fucking bulletin board. It's for my friends, too. It's not just a paranormal forum. We have many forums on our bulletin board, but only a select people are allowed on it. But it's owned by us. It's not like Yahoo. You got to be careful what you say on Yahoo. You say the word fuck on Yahoo, your account goes by. I've been tossed twice in the last 5-6 years on Yahoo, and I've had to reopen my account. And you write Yahoo, and they never tell you why you're tossed. And it's like, I assume it's because I said fuck, 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 fuck. Which, you can open up the dictionary. My son can open up the dictionary. He sees fuck in the dictionary. It's in the dictionary. But yet, if you say fuck, you're tossed. I mean, it's whatever happened to a free country, That's the whole problem. And so anyways, we open up a lot of new features. You can go to www.paranormalghostsociety.org and, just click enter, watch the movie, click enter, and you can go in and you can see our main page, and you'll see that, this year we added new flash buttons to the main page. I didn't do it on every page because some people don't got flash. I added all these new features. Meetups, we're done with meetups. It's not going to be any more meetups in Florida. There's not going to be any parties. I'm having a little New Year's party, but my friends, I have a couple friends that can't make it because they already made plans. But I'm going to have a private little thing going on for New Year's Eve. There's no more investigations. I'm going to be visiting 2 places in a couple weeks. They're public places. They're fully legal. I'm not going to get killed. I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm not going to get shot at or have a wolf chase me or anything like that. But they're going to go on the site. It's just my last hurrah in Florida. It's a little something I'm doing with my sons, and they're haunted places, but they're going on my site. And then we also have a partnership with satellite radio, and we're trying to sell those. We opened up our talk show this year, and it went from pre-recorded to live, and so now all you get to listen to me live. Our shows change. Some of them are very exciting. Some of them are not. So, it's been a great year. And aside from that, Mike wanted to mention how he despises UER. And, I'm going to say something about the whole UER thing. UER is an urban exploring group, okay? Problem is they hand out places, abandoned places like candy. And that's not good because people who are not experienced urban explorers are going to these places, they're vandalizing them. And, you know, the guy that runs the board is I have to say he's the most unethical urban explorer I've ever seen. I mean, he hasn't been to a lot of places. And I'm not attacking the group, but I don't think the group, what they have done is right to our organization, and they owe us an apology because the founder of that organization hid out in a fucking cave. Couldn't even be a man and meet me for a fucking beer. Had to sit in a fucking cave with 3 other dudes, and they sat there, and it's like you're asking for trouble. You know you didn't, and then they're bragging how we didn't do it and how they didn't see us and we chickened out. It's like, chickened out, so are you fucking saying you wanted me to show up? Because if I would have showed up, it would have been ass-kicking time. Because believe me, I am not afraid to take someone down. If I feel that my investigators are at danger, I will subdue you. And I will probably bury you in the woods and go drink a fucking beer, and I won't even tell anybody where you are. Because you shouldn't be fucking around with a father of children or any of my investigators. You shouldn't be hiding out in a place. Because if you're hiding in an abandoned building, it means you want to kill me. It means you either want to kill me, jump me, cause trouble, whatever the case is, and I'm going to defend myself. Because I'm always armed. Whether I got a knife, a sword, pepper spray, a gun, I'm always armed. And believe me, you know, I am not afraid to protect myself because my motivation is I want to come home to my sons in one piece. I'm not going to go to some cave and have three butthole fucking people fucking try to jump my ass because they don't like our organization. That's lame. If you can't be a man and smoke out with me or have a beer with me or show up face to face, you got an issue, you know. So you know the whole group is the whole thing is that, you know, the whole thing with that site is he's got no control over his moderators. He's got no control over his members. He's got this disclaimer on how no threats, no stealing people's work, and you know the whole site is like one big fucking drama queen of a motherfucker. And I laugh. I'm not on there. I don't look at the board. I don't care to look at the board because I'll tell you what, I am not going to go to a place that has nothing but a bunch of teenagers that do not respect other people. So I go there, you know, and the guy's got my kids' pictures up on his fucking site. They're everywhere, you know. My kids' pictures are there. My paranormal pictures are there. They got polls about me. They got my blogs, my personal blogs on his site. It's like you ain't running a goddamn message board. You're running a fucking circus. If you're an urban exploring group, keep it about urban exploring. If you're a paranormal organization or you're like one that's new age like mine, that's what you keep it about. You don't see that shit going on my boards. I don't post people's sexual lifestyles. I don't post their pictures in their fucking underwear on my fucking site. We don't do that shit. Why do they do it? So, you know, there's a few people on that site that will not stop harassing our organization, which is obviously why they're terrible at what they do. It's like you're not a good explorer, you're not a good paranormal investigator if you spend all your time devoted towards harassing me. So the whole UER thing, you know, they're sitting there, their cause is, well, we hate Lord Rick because he threatened this 17-year-old. Damn straight, if you're old enough to trespass, then you're old enough to get an ass whooping by me. And that's just the truth. It ain't my fault that some of these fucking kids got no fathers and need an ass beating. But I'll be more than happy to give somebody an ass beating out there. So I just laugh, you know, because this guy, you know, they got to sit there, and my son's got problems. He's got ADHD and all these things, and they're sitting there putting his picture up, laughing at him. Then they're laughing at my friend's death, making fun of his death. The kid died exploring. The same thing that they do, he died for. And they're sitting there laughing about it, you know. It's like, come on, people. You know, how cowardly is that? It's just a bunch of fucking cowards, you know. You want to fucking fight? Let's just beat the fuck out of each other. Meet me in front of the fucking bar. We'll pound each other. It's not going to solve a goddamn fucking thing. Now, working together, believe me, that's how you solve issues, is working together. But I'm going to tell you something. To all you little fucking haters that listen to my show and all these little people threatening me, you may not believe in the paranormal. But when this is all fucking said and done, you will believe in Lord Rick. You got that? So I will tell you that. But anyways, there's so many better urban exploring groups out there. I mean, I talked to 3 urban exploring founders, and none of them guys do that shit. They ain't putting my kids' pictures up. They ain't allowing their members to fucking harass me, because that's not, why the fuck would you do that? So what, I joined your board and asked for a donation. You look at some of these urban exploring groups, you look at UER, they're bringing in, I mean, people tell me stuff. I don't even have to go researching people. I don't want the information. But if somebody tells me, hey, its founder's making $2,000 a fucking month, and then you look and you're like, well, how come this guy doesn't ever leave Canada? How come he's always in Toronto? How come how come he never leaves more than 50 miles, 100 miles from his house? It's not a very good urban explorer if he doesn't travel ever. It's like, what is he doing with the money? So for him to actually host material about our site and to bash our site, it's like, you can't laugh at us. At least we're taking people places. At least we're visiting places. At least we're traveling the country. At least we're promoting other groups. At least we got a lot of things going on. I'm not hiding my pictures from the public. I'm not, these guys that run this board, all of them got no personal pics. And they're all cocky because they think because they've gone, to an asylum that they're God. And it's like, you're not God just because you've been to an asylum. It's like, I've been to a dozen asylums. And I've seen ghosts in some of them asylums. And some of them people are just really they're just so ignorant. That's the way society has gotten, and you are right. Some of those people, Mike, are very immature on there. They criticize guys like me because I toke up, or I drank, or they sit there and they talk about my fatherhood and all this stuff like they're goody-goodies, like they're saints. And just like I said in the beginning of the radio show, nobody's a goddamn fucking saint. If you want to be a fucking saint, you go live at a goddamn monastery. But if you're in the urban exploring business or you're a paranormal investigator, if you ain't the slightest fucking crazy, you shouldn't be in the business. And these fucking people, all these people just act like a bunch of nerds. They're little threats, they're little harassment sites. They'll email us with stupid shit. It's just like this guy the other day. He complains to my host, well, I didn't give my permission to post my IP up. And then he writes me today, says, I don't care if you left it up. I said, really? I said, that's why my service provider had ratted you out and told me that you filed a complaint. These fucking people, man, you talk about major fucking geeks. They're all fucking major geeks the way they act. It's like, stop being a pussy fucking man. Come out and have a fucking beer. Or if you don't like me, go your own way. Respect what I do. I respect what you do. But as soon as you start fucking harassing me on your radio show and you start fucking emailing me and making threats and posting my kids' fucking pictures and trying to make this a personal issue, we can make it a personal issue. Because, see, I got my whole fucking life. I'll dedicate my whole life to going after each person that fucks me over. I'll go after you one by one. I'll get a plane ticket. I'll go right out to your home fucking town, and I'll fucking knock on your door and say, hey, you got a problem with me? And I will do it. Because the way I look at it is that I got goals. I have many goals, many things that I want to achieve as a paranormal investigator. My goals are not made to benefit me. They're made to benefit other people. It's made to help other people. And when I get some asshole who goes out there and they think that they're gonna put me down and hope that I stop attaining my goals, that's just bullshit. The paranormal for me is a learning thing, and that's what I am. I'm a teacher. I'm here to teach people. And these people think I'm just gonna give up. It's like, you see the fucking stellar year we've had. It was hard. I took a few months off this year because I had an infection. My face was swollen up. I was very sick for a long time. I couldn't hike. I had pains in my liver. I had to hold on for a while. I was very fatigued. I'd have to hold my stomach when hiking. It was very hard. But, I bounced back. You look at the last few months of this year, and I've really done a good job. I've been flawless. I put out an itinerary for our members. I said, here's what's going to go on, and I stuck to it. I put 4 months in advance of investigations up. And I said, this is where we're going every 2 weeks. And I went to them all. I did Savannah. I went to Tampa Bay with a bad axle. I went to Brooksville. I went to Cedar fucking Key. I went to Tangerine, Florida. I went to Orlando, St. Augustine. I did all these fucking places this year. And I did a good fucking job. And, looking at my room here, it says, do you think anyone from UER cares now? No, I really don't. Honestly, it doesn't matter what UER thinks of me, because as our organization has never done nothing wrong to them, we've merely only defended ourselves against that group. What people see what they see on UER, because UER posts 1,000 posts about me. There was about 1,000 posts on there about me, which is ridiculous. And they only see one side of it. They never see the hate mails that I get, the hate sites, the porn that gets sent to our guest book, the pictures of peckers drawn in front of my son's face. They don't see that shit, and they don't understand. It's like, you're fucking with my kids. What? If you fuck with my kids, I fuck with you. That's the way it works. That's how any father should work. You fuck with my family, I fuck with you. You come on my property, you fuck with me, I kill you. That's the way it works, and that's how society should be. But see, society doesn't think that way. Society thinks nowadays that because you're on the internet, it's okay to fuck with people. They think it's okay to stalk. It's okay to post someone's address with kids all over the net. It's like, you're not thinking about my children. You're thinking about harming me. And therefore, I have every single legal right to defend myself. UER has stooped low. And I know after the show will come out, they'll start doing their little message posts and they'll harass me. And it's the same people doing it over and over. And, you look at these guys' pictures, and they're just all, thick black glasses. They're fucking like 100 pounds and 5'5". Some of them are 14 years old. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is this? It's like, you want to hang with the big boys, you better act like the big boys. You want to fucking hang, be a man, have a fucking beer at the bar, and quit fucking being a pussy. But see, these guys don't want to make a choice. They don't want to sit there and find a peaceful resolution. They want to harass us because we're a paranormal group, and because they don't believe it gives them every right, apparently, to harass us. And it doesn't matter if you don't believe, because we're not just a paranormal group. Our radio show is open. It's a very open-minded show. And we try to keep things, we try to change the topics, we try to talk about a lot of different stuff. So, all those people criticizing us, saying, hey, you just got word pictures, it's more than that. We take pictures of everything. Even if we don't get no ghost pictures, we still take pictures of abandoned places, and we still put them up on the site. That deserves some sort of credit. But, some of them guys on the net, they make their living by trying to degrade other groups. And that's what UER has done, is that they've degraded our group to make themselves look better. And it's like, why? Because I joined asking for a donation? It's not hurting nobody. I don't have to disclose where I go, what I do, why I need the donation, because I'm not pulling in $2,000 a month. Pulling in $60, that's going to go in the gas tank to fucking go to abandoned places. It's going to go in the gas tank. It's going to go towards flashlights for the guys. It's going to go towards batteries. It's going to go towards cameras. It's going to go towards some beers at the fucking pub before we go into the fucking cave and probably almost croak. But these guys just don't fucking see it, We're the bad people. We're the liars. We're the fakes. We're the frauds. There's nothing fraudulent or fake about what I hear. I put the evidence up. Doesn't necessarily mean I believe it, but I put it up, and I let you come to your own conclusion, because that's what a good paranormal founder does. It doesn't force people to believe in ghosts. And I'm not forcing anybody, but I can tell you what I've experienced, what I see, what I know. Coming up in 2008, we have a very special year ahead of us. As you know, I'm moving to California. I'm doing it to better my life because, I would like to definitely meet a Californian girl. I mean, it's, I'm burnt out with Florida girls, but I do have to say I did meet a nice girl recently, and she's a total sweetheart. We spend time together. As a matter of fact, I'll probably see her tomorrow. I'll probably see her for New Year's, and we have a lot of fun together, But generally, I'm moving to California because I want to be able to camp out in the mountains. I want to be able to do a ghost town in the Black Rock Desert. I want to be able to go to Vegas a few times a year. I love to go to Las Vegas. I love the girls. I love they got the best smoke in Las Vegas. You smoke out there, pow, one hit, you're out. Las Vegas is awesome. I'm going to be visiting all these sites: Sedona, Roswell, New Mexico, Area 51. I'm going to be going to Lake Tahoe. I'm going to be going to the El Dorado Forest in the mountains where Bigfoot activity is really high. Spelunking in caves, old San Francisco. I'm going to be doing it all. And I can't wait to get out there because it's just something, to put on the site that you guys can enjoy. And, of course, a lot of people out there in California want to hike with me. They want to camp out with me. They want to drink and smoke, and they want to have a good time because that's what this is about. It's, and this guy writes me from GSI. He says, the field don't need thrill seekers like you. What the fuck else is there in life to do? If you don't thrill seek, what do? Pick your fucking ass all fucking day? GSI. That's more like fucking CSI. If he spent less time trying to investigate my fucking ass online, he might actually look like a good paranormal organization. But I guess when you're out in Illinois, you get a little fucking bored and you fuck the goats. That's got to be what it is, goat fucking or something going on. Because I'll tell you what, I ain't fucking no goats. I just got back from fucking Savannah, and I ain't fucking goats. But I'll tell you what, some of these people just have gotten so cocky over the years. And, it's like I've been around. I started my paranormal organization in 2001. I didn't put it on the site up till 2002 or whatever. But I started the planning for this organization was done in 2001. What we were going to do in the future, how it was going to go. We plan years in advance. That's how organized we are. But, I mean, people just don't give us credit where it's due. And we're going to be going out west. I can tell you right now I'm going to be moving anywhere from 2 weeks from now, 3 months. I don't know. It's whenever I finish gathering my funds together, finish up the packing, I got to load my moving truck. But I've already changed over my groups to California. Got a lot of Californians joining my groups. A lot of people from California emailing me, telling me they want to join the team. People are very different out west. It's not like down south. Down here in the south, these people are fucking scared. They're rednecks, but they won't go into the goddamn woods at night because they're just bragging, oh, the snakes might get me, the black bear might get me, the alligator might get me. I'm from fucking New York, and I'm in the fucking swamps of the south. I should be the one that's scared, not the rednecks. So, I'm going to go out west. I'm going to climb mountains. I'm going to fucking do all that shit. I'm going to go to Mount Shasta. I'm going to climb a goddamn volcano. I thought about jumping in the volcano, but then I thought, wait a second. Winds are 45 miles an hour. It's going to blow the chute against the wall. I'm going to be hanging off the wall of the fucking volcano. Then I can't get the fuck out of the volcano unless I climb. Yeah, I could climb out. But anyways, that's like a 50-50 chance of living. So I don't think I'm going to jump in the volcano anymore. But I found a really cool cave that goes under the volcano, and that is definitely not life-threatening. So I think I will do the cave. So we got a lot of plans out west, and I don't know what my plans are for the future. I can tell you right now I'd like to do California for about 5 to 10 years. Then I might retire up in Oregon. Here I am talking retirement like I'm goddamn fucking old. But you know what? Honestly, I am pretty banged up, and that's probably why I'm taking a few months off. I'm tired, I spent 21 miles hiking in Savannah. Drug dealers coming up to me, gangs. My life's on the line when I do this. And I'm very lucky to be alive because I've done a lot of dangerous shit this year. I've done a lot of life-threatening shit. And, more so than other years, this has been one of the most life-threatening years doing this work. Shot at, chased, I had 2 guys block me months ago. 2 guys stood in a road and blocked me down on a dead end one night. And I told him, I said, I revved up the truck and I fucking almost ran him over. You want to block me in a road? I'll fucking run your ass over. And I won't say nothing. Well, I ain't going to turn myself in. You blocked me in the road. You asked for the trouble. But that's the way these fucking people are down here in Florida. You know, you go down these back roads, these people are drunk, and they want to fucking fight. They want to pull out their gun. They want to fucking shoot you. There's no civilization, or I should say there's no utopia in Florida. These people, you know, they they down here, and a lot of them are just not right. And they're not kind to paranormal investigators. They're not kind to urban explorers. They are not good people. You know, they spend their lives in the backwoods. They drink. They got farms, and it's just, you just can't be down here in Florida. And I realize that, and I'm leaving. You know, I've spent 4 years. I've seen enough. I've seen enough of the crackhead hookers. I've seen enough of the fucking rednecks. I've seen enough of the trailer park fucking hillbillies. You know, I've seen it all. I've enjoyed some of the places I've been this year have been paradise. Those fucking springs with the cave, that's fucking paradise. It's like being on an exotic fucking island. It's like being in Hawaii. I've been to fucking Miami this year. I've been to the Keys. I swam in a fucking reef over a shipwreck on one of my investigations, you know. I was swimming over these cannons from a Spanish galleon or whatever. I have done crazy shit. I've been to Coral Castle. You know, I swam way out in the oceans with sharks and stuff down in southern Florida. I've had a hell of a year. This year has been so extreme for me, and so, you know, that's why we tried to wrap up before the end of the new year, because I wanted to take a vacation. Wanted to spend a couple months with my sons, you know, just smoke out, play video games, pack my shit, go out west. As soon as I get out west, probably within 2 weeks, I'll start pumping out investigations. I'll start off with a couple cemeteries, or I'll go hiking in the woods. You know, we're not going to do ghost tours when I get out west. Actually, what I'm going to run is a Bigfoot expedition tour, and I'll take people on a Bigfoot tour for those who want a little something like that extra. That I will do, because ghost tours are becoming lame. Everybody's doing them to make money. I mean, I seen 3 ghost tours going on in Savannah, and the one girl was so fucking loud. Fucking, it's like, Jesus Christ, lady, how am I supposed to get any fucking ghosts with you talking? And then this goddamn motherfucker, he's in a goddamn hearse chasing me around in fucking Savannah. He's got a group of people in back giving a tour, and he's revving his fucking car, and he's coming up behind me and stopping and coming, and he's laughing. It's like you want some entertainment for your tour? I'll take my fucking hands, I'll reach in the goddamn window, I'll pull you out, punch you in the fucking nose, and then those people will think it's part of the fucking tour. I'll tell the people in the back of the hearse, I'll say, I'm the goddamn fucking boogeyman. There's only room for one asshole, I say. One asshole. Of course, UER tries to, you know, they try to be an asshole towards us. You know, we got this King Flasher guy, and someone tipped me off of who he is. And they told me who he probably is, and it does sound like this person. It actually sounds like this guy that's very jealous because there's a girl that I have feelings for and have for a couple years now. I've known her. And, you know, the guy's very jealous because he used to date her, but she's interested in me. But we're just friends. It's not like, you know, it's not like we're going to sit there and we're going to fucking, I mean, get all into the fucking kinky lifestyle and say, hey, baby, let's fuck on the beach right now, you know? It's just, we're friends, you know? She likes the work I do. We haven't talked in a while. But, you know, I mean, the truth is I got a tip off of who this person might be. And it's like, what a sick fucking bastard, man. If a girl doesn't want nothing to do with you, she's interested in somebody else, let it fucking go. Jesus Christ. Madonna mia, as I say in Italian, you know? But the way, you know, this basher person and stuff like that is just, ugh. I don't know, man. I mean, the guy takes my blogs. He's hiding under my friends list on MySpace as a female. And then he takes my blogs and he puts them on his. Then he puts them on Encyclopedia Dramatica. And you know, yeah, he is from UER, but he's also not really a loyal. He's not really a loyal active UER member. That's the whole thing. That's what at least I know so far. It's like all the problems that stem from our organization are people from UER. You know, they just go on and they harass us. This whole year they've been harassing us. And it's like, don't you got anything better to do? Because they're not offending me. See, all they have done is they've taken all these haters have showed so much hate to me that it's actually made, I have found friends because of it. So I have them to thank. They've also done free advertising for me. Our hits have actually doubled. It's like, wow, fantastic. Thanks for helping me out. I had to shake these fucking people's hands, man. You know, they think that they hurt my feelings when they go on the net and they talk about this and that. And they're the ones that look like the asses because, you know, all they're doing is they're giving me material for my radio show. And I'm loving it. It's, you know, it's like, Jesus Christ. But anyways, you know, I'll tell you what. I mean, you know, there's a lot of good groups out there. There's a lot of bad groups. I'm not in competition. You know, as I've told people over the years, I do this because, friends, I know I'm not going to get rich. I'm putting out a book. If I don't move for a few months out of Florida, I will sit down and I will finish my book. But I'm here to make friends. You know, because of my paranormal group, because of it, I met a great lady a week ago, and we're friends. Because of my group, and because I exist, I have met Mike Digital. I have met some cool urban explorers. You know, because of my organization, you know, this year I got like 7 Christmas cards in the mail from members. Our organization is meant to be fun. And some people try to turn what we do into drama. You know, they try to like that Paranormal Interest Radio. What they tried to do is get me on there to try to make me look bad because I trespass in the cemeteries or because I go, you know, on bases and sneak around. It's like, well, what the fuck you expect me to do? Hey, Uncle Sam, show me your goddamn fucking UFOs. Uncle Sam is not going to show me the UFOs. I got to sneak on the base. I got to look for the goddamn UFOs. It's the only way I'm going to see the UFOs. These groups are not paranormal investigators. They're groups that just start off and they go out there to a cemetery and now they think that they are the shit. They think they're TAPS. They're trying to form partnerships with TAPS. It's like, come on, man. TAPS ain't going to put you on TV. TAPS is not going to pay your payroll. Sci-Fi is not going to have you on board with them. Think about it. You know, what I do because I enjoy to spend time with people. My lead investigator had been with me for 5 years. His name is Jason, you know, and he wears a hearing aid because he's deaf, but he can hear with the hearing aid because as a child he was born deaf and then he got hit by a car, so he can't hear that well. But he's done 5 years of investigations. He actually moved back home because he was having family problems, but he lived with me for a few years in Florida. And he did a lot of hiking. He did a lot of paranormal investigations. And, you know, some of the best moments of my life were spent with him. I mean, we smoked bowls and joints in cemeteries. We smoked sitting on benches out in lagoons. And we had such a great time. And that's why I do this. I don't care if people don't believe in the evidence I put up. It's sometimes the history that's more important than the ghosts that are there. Because I'm trying to preserve these places, you know. I want people to at least know that we're here, that they exist. You Mike, you do plenty for our radio show. You put up the shows on YouTube, and, you know, YouTube's a great thing because there's a lot of people on YouTube who actually listen to the shows. You know, I don't look for anything from anybody. You know, I think that it's a helping situation. I think that, you know, if you needed my help out in Boston and I was out there, I would give you the help. I mean, it goes both ways. You know, like I tell one girl's like, I forgot to send Christmas cards this year. I said, don't worry about it, man. I said, your kind words of support is all that I need because she always gives me kind words, you know, and it keeps me going. Because when I got to go out to Savannah, for example, by myself, that's the hardest thing to do. Knowing you're by yourself in a big-ass city on foot. If I faint because I have asthma, it was really bothering me when I was fucking hiking. I couldn't find my inhaler. You know, if something happens to me, I'm done. I can get robbed. I can get hit over the head because people will rob you for anything. My cousin had a friend one time that was a pizza delivery guy. The guy's going door to door delivering pizzas, you know. Well, the guy had $10 in his pocket. 3 punks took a baseball bat, and they crushed his fucking skull. Killed him. He was just delivering pizzas. The guy wasn't doing nothing wrong. For $10 fucking dollars. Not even. $8. They skull fucked him for $8. And, I realize when I'm out there on the streets in Savannah, and, these guys are fucking, some guy came up to me on his bicycle, tried to start a fight with me. I'm thinking to myself, go ahead, start a fucking fight. I cannot hesitate with people. You can't take that chance. The streets are dangerous. And the work that I do, I don't have a huge team. I go out there by myself. I go exploring and I go investigating. And, I have to be careful. So it's very, all you got is your friends that believe in you and support you. Because if you don't got those, you got nothing. You go out there in the woods, that's the first thing that I think about is does somebody believe in what I'm doing? Because if I'm going to fight off some wolf that's attacking me, or I got a black bear that's rabid and ready to fucking claw me, in my head I got to think, is this worthwhile? And it is. It is, as long as people continue to support us and be our fans. But I'll tell you what, it's people just will kill you over anything. And that's why, I hate living down south. The south is very bad. A lot of bad neighborhoods. I don't care what town you go to. It's always a bad neighborhood. It's more bad than good. You get one street that's good, and you get 20 streets that are bad. And I've seen a lot. I've broken down in bad neighborhoods on investigations. And I've had a lot of trouble. Luckily, I knock on wood. I survived. I'm okay. We're done with investigations. We'll start fresh out in California. Right now we're about to be in 2 books this year. We're actually 2 authors. 2 very well-known authors actually have put me in their books. I appreciate that because with my guild, I'll be able to sell their books right from my site. And I don't mind selling their books. It's like if I'm in your book, I'll sell your book for you. I'm far from a greedy guy. And these hate groups, they try to make it, they think that I'm making all this money and I'm frauding the public. It's like, give me a fucking break, man. I'm out, how can I fraud the public? I'm paying for the site. I'm self-funded going on these trips. If I get 5 members who donate $10, $20 a piece, that's enough to cover maybe a gas for a trip. If I go like to Savannah, my bus ticket's paid for. And they enjoy it. They get to see it on the site. And people see that I do the traveling, so they know what the money's going for. They know it's not going for weed. They know it's not going for beer. It's going towards the trip. All the extras I get on my own. You have to really, when you sit down, and you do this, you have every right to relax. You have every right to go out there and enjoy doing it. And if people want to judge, let them judge. I know because of who I am, I've lost out on a lot of things. I was supposed to do a TV show this year, actually a national one of a haunted hotel. And it's not that producers don't want me. Because believe me, producers want me on their TV program because I'm the real deal. I'm not going to fucking feed the public with bullshit. I'm not. But they can't find a time slot for me. Like, the producers want me, but then it's like all these other ghost groups got these time slots filled. Like, for example, Ghost Hunters is on all the time. It's like how you're not going to get on with Sci-Fi for something like that because they already got a program. Just like the Learning Channel, they're getting these ghost programs. So it's like they can't fit us in. So I had actually 2 television show offers. And one was going to be a pilot. It was going to be a series, just like Ghost Hunters. And they wanted me. Now, I sent the guy the footage. He said it's hilarious, but he said it's good fucking footage. He said, I like the video. I like your style. I want you on TV. And all these groups that go around, these hate groups putting us down, it's like, you're fucking wrong about us, man. Because producers do want us. We're in books. We're in newspapers. We're somebody that's been around for years. This is not some group that started in 2006. We've been doing this for years. And you can go back and you can go to our site, click the investigation archives. You'll see that we've done almost 700 places. We got 800 investigations. And we got over 50,000 photos. And, you know, I'm the main photographer for my group. When we have other investigators, they will help me. Sometimes they get cocky and they don't want to give me their pictures, which I don't know what goes through their head, because it's like, you're getting credit for them. I'm not making money off them. But if you don't give me your pictures, nobody's going to know that you were there. Nobody's going to know that you actually helped out our group. But, you know, yeah, actually you're right. 9 o'clock is better. It's just very hard for me to do an early show. That's why the show was early, because it was a weekend. Actually, I will probably start doing early shows from now on. My whole schedule has changed. My kids are going back to school in a few days. And, you know, I think that a lot of people had wrote me and said they wanted an earlier show, too. And so I probably will go with that. Me, you know, I'm a night owl. There are some nights I stay up all night long. So it's like, for me, I don't have a set schedule. You know, last night I went out. I was rolling dice. It's the Las Vegas that's in me. I was rolling dice, and I played my two friends. They're really good at cards and dice, you know. And they teach me this dice game, you know, and it's a really cool. It's like a Las Vegas type of game. And I'm rolling the fucking dice, and I almost beat them the first time, and they were getting a little scared. They're like, come on, we play dice all the time. I said, you know what? I said, I play to fucking win. So we're sitting there, you know, and I roll the dice again, and I play another game, and I kick their ass, like 10,000 points to 1,000 points. So then they didn't want to no more, you know. I said, I told you I play to win. So then the guy's sitting there, he's drinking beers, you know. You don't know what I do for a living. I don't tell a lot of people what I do for a living. It scares people away. They're like, oh, you're a fucking freak. You're a UFO fucking chaser, you know. Guy starts talking about aliens and outer space and theories. And he's onto something, and he says to me, Rick, you have no idea. I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, I have no idea, huh? It's like, I really don't want to tell him what I do for a living, because even though he's open-minded and stuff, it's just like, you know, it's like wherever I go, the paranormal follows me. You know, I go walk into a grocery store, and somebody recognizes me, and next you know, they're asking me about the ghost in their fucking house. It's like, Jesus Christ, I got ghost up the fucking ass. I got ghost in my house, a ghost here, a ghost there. Sometimes it's nice just to chill out and just not worry about any of the paranormal. But it follows me. So he starts asking me questions about goddamn fucking aliens from outer space, asking me why I think they're here, why they would travel here. And my answer was, you know, and he agreed, and his ideas were pretty interesting too, that the mankind is one giant experiment. Like, we've evolved really quickly the last 10,000 years. But of course, you know, 10,000 years ago, we were supposed to be supposedly, you know, ape men, which I have a hard time believing that in my past life, I was a goddamn orangutan. I don't want to fucking believe that I was in a tree eating fucking bananas. I don't know about you, but I don't want to believe that I'm a fucking orangutan, all right? That's just like downgrading. It's like, well, you know, back then, 10 years ago, I was a fucking orangutan, and now I'm a human being that talks, walks, fucks, and does everything. So, anyways, you know, we were talking about it, and he is right. It's like for a while, in the Egyptian times, they visited. Then they disappeared. There was no UFO or alien sightings. When the atomic bomb went off, from that point on, and from Roswell, when Roswell happened after the atomic bomb, UFO sightings increased to a daily thing across the world. The UFO reports, the UFO pictures, the abductees, the conspiracies, the government projects, Project Blue Book, Philadelphia experiment, all these weird experiments, strange government craft, government testing a craft at Area 51, all this shit went on. And, you know, now it's getting worse. I mean, the astronauts are coming forth saying they're seeing UFOs in space. The pilots are claiming that they see UFOs along their fucking wing flying. This shit's fucking, something's going on. And we're talking, and he says, well, maybe the aliens visited here 10,000 years ago, and they planted something here, or they're looking for something. And they came here looking for something. We just don't know what. And maybe they did something, and they've come back to see what exactly they did. It's like what exactly did they do? Did they alter mankind, and now they want to see how much more advanced we are? Maybe we're got to be one experiment. And then, you know, you look at other things too. And people just, humans get so cocky on Earth. They think, well, we're man, we're powerful, we're tough. It's like you ain't shit in this fucking universe. Our sun could explode, this Earth would be swallowed up. An asteroid can hit us, you're going to die. You're not going to live through a fucking asteroid impact. That asteroid's going to hit the ocean, and it's going to throw up a 2,000-foot tsunami, and it's going to swallow you. You will be crushed, you will die. And the best way to die is to throw your fucking hands up and say, take me, motherfucker, because that's all you might as well do. Because you're not going to be able to go and start hiding up in a bunker. You're not going to be saved. The politicians might save themselves. They're going to go 500 feet underground in an elevator. They're going to lock themselves in with their rations for 10, 20 years. They're going to avoid the fallout, but you're not going to be able to avoid it. This universe is very large. You have billions of stars, billions of planets, billions of galaxies, and UFO life, it exists. People don't want to admit it. They want to think we're the only ones. But now scientists say there's 250 water-like planets. So on those planets, think about it. Is there fish on those planets? Is there another race of similar to human beings? Is there more advanced species? And these people that are so ignorant, they laugh at it. And it's like, this is fucking science, man. This has nothing to do with God. It comes down to, we live in a galaxy with millions of stars. Then you go outside the galaxy, you got another million fucking galaxies with millions and billions of stars. And so we're one giant experiment. The gene pool has been altered. Mankind has more defects than any other species. And, I'll tell you what. The whole thing about mankind is that it's going to end. People don't realize it. You got to be good to each other. You may not see it in your lifetime. You may live the next 80 years. But in many lifetimes down the road, this planet will not be here. A virus will wipe us out. An asteroid will hit. We may end up killing each other, starving each other. The world will fall into chaos. It's just like New Orleans. One little disaster happens. You got these guys raping women over at these shelters. And you know what? Not one fucking guy stood up to these rapists. If I seen the guy fucking raping the woman, I'd take that fucker outside. I'd behead him. I'd be like, I'm executing you. That's what I would be like. I'd be like, I am the fucking law. I'm your judge, jury, and executioner. But no, these people let it fucking go on. Because mankind panics. That's why the government will not tell anybody if an asteroid's coming. Because this world will panic. People will kill each other, rob each other, rape each other. There's no utopia in society. And as a Ghostbuster going out there, I see a lot of evil things in the middle of the night going on. I see fights. I see prostitutes. I see it all. I see more than the cops see. Because I'm out there at night. And I see these things going on. But, I hope that everybody has enjoyed the show. We haven't had any callers. Sometimes I think some people get a little bit of shy. But yeah, speaking of that, I would like to make a trip up to Boston eventually. It may take me anywhere from 1 to probably 3 years. It just depends. When I do out-of-state trips, what I try to do is I try to tell my members, look, donate enough to cover my plane fare. At least that. Because it's cheap to fly. $200-300, you get a round-trip ticket, and there you go. But, and the thing is that the way funding works for our organization, it works in numbers. 20 people donate $5 a piece. That's not putting anybody out. It's enough to get me where I got to go and get the investigations or explorations done. But our members, we have a lot of inactive members, even though we have 13 to 15,000 members on our site and we get like 1 million hits a year, because we're such an eccentric group, not a lot of people participate. We get, most of the work is done by me personally. And it's nice when you got other help and funding and things like that. And that's all you can do is try. The radio show is a big boost for us. All the new features that I've added to the site, those are big things for us. These are things to help boost us. Our move out to California, that's a huge boost. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are already in our group from California, and they're active members. They post, they're talking about joining, because it's like, if you can't donate, hike with me. If you can't hike with me, participate. Just post something, join the radio show. And, this Now Live is very great, because it also allows people to join the chat room and chat. And like I said, there's only room enough for one asshole. So I see, like I told that guy, I said, you got booted out of my chat room because you're an asshole. There's only room enough for one. I'm the one that's the asshole. Or at least I can be an asshole when I need to know I have to be one. Because I'll tell you what, a long time ago, a very well-known Ghostbuster had emailed me. And she said, Rick, she says, right now you don't realize it. She goes, but you're a nice guy. And you do so much for your fans, your friends, your members. She goes, but sometimes you have to be an asshole. You can't let somebody like UER just walk all over you, laugh about your friend's death, laugh at your kids. You can't let that happen. Sometimes you got to be an asshole. We don't censor our guests. We don't censor our callers. But like I said, we also don't want assholes in our chat room. And the chat room is aside from the radio show. The radio show is going on. The chat room is just there for people to get together, chat. If they want to ask me questions, they can ask me questions. I don't have a problem with it. Rainbow Springs, well, yeah, there is something actually, what somebody said in the chat room a bit. Rainbow Springs has, there's something in the woods. It's like, I don't know if you'd call it a cage. It's like made out of stone, and there's rooms. It's like a fucking zoo. And you crawl in there, and like the fucking iron is pulled up like something big. Like it's made to house lions, okay? And I'm in the fucking lion cage in Rainbow Springs, Florida here, I'm wandering around, and the woman I was with, she did see some eyes look at her. I think it was ghostly, because they disappeared. They weren't there when she looked again. Yeah, that's basically what a lot of ghosts are. You sit there and you'll catch a glimpse, you turn your head, they're gone. Just like that. But yeah, that was another place I went to that was pretty freaky recently, was Rainbow Springs. And there was waterfalls. Most of Florida is springs. Mostly under Florida is springs. That's why you get sinkholes. The springs end up, the water dries out and the caves collapse and it forms a sinkhole. And I've been to two of the largest sinkholes in the state of Florida. I mean, and when I say large, they go like 120 feet down. And some of them sinkholes it's like a tropical jungle growing at the bottom of them. And, I've been to all kinds of cool places in Florida, and I've done a lot of New York. I've done Pennsylvania. I've also been to Georgia. I've been to Alabama. I did some places out in Nevada. So, I'm well-traveled across the country. And when I go out west, when I set up my base of operations out there, I'll start off small. I will do some stuff in Central California. My first year is going to be very slow. I probably will only do 2 investigations every couple weeks. Then eventually I'm going to tune it up a notch, and I'm going to start getting back up to 5 investigations every 2 weeks. Then I'm going to start doing the more extreme shit, boating on Lake Tahoe, spelunking. I'm gonna try to do a lot of the major extreme stuff, but I got to get used to California because I'm dealing with terrain. Terrain is very hard to hike in at night. Got to watch. There's a lot of grizzly bear in certain parts. There's a lot of mountain lions. I know that a lot of them will not mess with you, but there's also a lot of them that will mess with you. If you're in its territory, you're away from town, and it's on the trail, it probably will attack. So things might change. I may be carrying a shotgun with me when I'm out west. It's the smartest thing you can ever do is carry a rifle with you when you're out in a place like that. I'm not looking to shoot Bigfoot. I'm not looking to shoot animals. But I am looking to protect myself because I am a father of 3 kids. And I do have plans on having another one in the future. As soon as I find the right girl to have one with, it's not, it's fun to practice making the babies. But once you have the babies, it's like, oh my God, they took my kids. my kids watch that. I rented this movie called Super Bad. They love that movie. They're like the high school girls and the guys are out there searching for the fucking bear, and you know, it's an awesome movie. And the kids like it. I'm like, you guys cannot be watching it. You guys are going to be influenced by that. And they're like, don't worry, Dad. You're influencing us, not the fucking movie. You know, kids these days are just totally different. You know, kids use iPods and MP3 players, and kids are on the internet now in these paranormal groups. They're 13 years old, and they're in paranormal groups wanting to go on paranormal investigations. Times have changed. You know, and I'm kind of like one of these old school guys. You know, I like to smoke, I like to shroom, I like to party. I like the whole scene. I had some girls try to lecture me and stuff, and it's like, you know, I don't come from this time period. I'm not a 90s guy. I'm not a 2007 type of guy. You know, I was born in 1975, so you figure it out. You know, I grew up, my parents were fucking hippies, man. You know, and I grew up in that lifestyle. I grew up in an open household, you know, and I'm a very open paranormal investigator. I'm not some guy, you know, like that Mike Stickley that wears his fucking cowboy hat and acts all rednecky and is like, you know, preaching on how we're bad. You know, it's like we're not bad. We're a great group of paranormal members, and we're a great paranormal organization. We're always going to help people, you know. We're here to make friends. I will talk to anybody. Make sure you check out our site at www.paranormalghostsociety.org. You know, I think I'm going to close up the show. I don't want to let it run too long. I think I covered everything for the new year. You know, I'm going to pretty much be a recluse. I may not be online for the next week or two because I think that my DSL is going to be down. Unfortunately, when you have kids and you have a big Christmas dinner and you go out and you just spend hundreds of dollars on your sons for Christmas, you know, video game systems, video games, you know, scooters, this and that. It's just, you know, you just don't got the money. You know, so it's sad. It's sad that there's so many other groups out there that are making so much money. And, you know, those guys got enough to fund their site. They got enough to fund their trips. They got enough to fund their DSL and their service. But I just don't. You know, I'm one of these guys that uses a lot of broken down paranormal equipment, and I totally rely on those donations. Even sometimes, if I'm lucky enough, I have sometimes I get a good deal on stuff. When it was Black Friday, I had gotten a digital recorder, and it really is good for EVP. It's not the best one. There are better ones that have better, crisper sound, but I got an EVP thing to get EVP, and I got a good deal on it. And that's what I always try to look for, is the good deals. And it's not, you know, and we got this other group in Florida, and, you know, they're all fancy. They investigated for us, and then there was a conflict, apparently, because now they ended up not showing to the Tampa Bay trip, and the girlfriend ended up bitching me out saying, our uniforms are not to hike, our uniforms are to investigate. Well, excuse me, how the fuck are we supposed to get to the ghost town? We're supposed to get on my goddamn tricycle and fucking go to the ghost town? You have to hike to the ghost town to get to the ghost town. Don't wear the goddamn uniforms if you know we're hiking. So, you know, his girlfriend bitched me out, and they quit the fucking team, and they're all about the glamour, you know. My digital recorder is $300. My EMF detector is $100. My uniforms are $50. I don't give a fuck. You know, I use what I got. If I use beat-up flashlights, I use beat-up flashlights. If I use a broken EMF detector, I use a broken EMF detector. I'm not out there to impress. I've done some investigations in my goddamn pajamas. I did a cemetery barefoot a few months ago. Me and my son went out of town. I had no investigators. My feet were fucking soaking wet. I couldn't take it no more. I walked around the cemetery barefoot. What's the ghost going to do? What's the worst they're going to do? They're not going to like to look at my feet or something? You know, we're different from other groups. You know, we keep things simple. You know, 420, high times, good times in the cemetery, good times investigating. You know, when I go out west, people are a little more open. You know, 420 out west is pretty common. I mean, I must, at least 9 out of 10 people I talk to from California smoke. You know, they're not sitting there, they're not judging me, they're not putting me under the microscope. People try to put me under the microscope. I don't know what they're fascinated with, because I am what I am. I'm a father that goes out and works at what I do full time, and that's the paranormal. I'm an adventurous. I like adventures, but, you know, these adventures mean nothing if I cannot share them with my friends. 2007 has been a great year. It's been a year of a lot of obstacles, but it's also been a year of a lot of great things. We have this talk show. We used to be, you know, it used to start off with just pre-recorded webcasts, but now we got the live show going on. We got it going on, you know. We got all these new features, and it's all for our members to enjoy. I don't even have to tell you, because you can go to the site and everything is right in front of you. You know, and this year has been good. Despite our struggles, 2 books. We didn't make no newspapers. We almost got on TV. So it has been a very good year for us. Gas prices killed me this year. If you notice, I cut my investigations down from every week. It went down to every 2 weeks. Because when you raise kids and you got to pay $60 in gas, holy shit. You know, I went out of town I went to a place down here that's got a ghost town called Newmansville. It's about an hour and a half south of here. There's a national forest you can hike through where there's this historical site. It cost me $80 to $90 in gas to go. So you know what I did? I couldn't take it no more. I fucking took my truck down to a shop, and I told the guy, I said, you have my truck. I said, give me that little fucking car right there. Now I drive this little fucking car, but it's okay on gas. So, so that's just the way it goes. And I miss my truck as I can't off-road anymore. So that's why we haven't done any off-roading trips the last few months, because I don't got my truck anymore to do it. But I got this little car that's okay on gas, and, you know, we go out every 2 weeks, and we visit a lot of places. California is going to be entirely different, because the thing is with California is it's very spread out. Like, you know, if I want to go to San Francisco, it's a 2-hour drive. The drives are going to be a lot farther for me. It's going to be it's going to be a different type of thing. If you notice, we put a new logo on our site. It's in the new portal. Look at it. I designed it by hand. You know, all our logos are designed by hand. Not the greatest artist, but I do a pretty good job. It's like cartoon type of work that I do, sort of. And each of our logos has a hidden symbol or a hidden meaning, so you can take a look at it. And just like the logo says, you know, on the tombstone, it's gonna get many times more dangerous, much more the adventure, and we're gonna bring it to you out west. 2008 is gonna be a great year. I'm gonna continue to do my radio shows. Of course, when I move, some of you may not hear from me for about 4 to 6 weeks. Could even be up to 2 months. I will keep an eye on things. I will moderate my groups, even if I have to do it from a library or have someone else do it for me. I will moderate my forums, because I have many forums. I'm going to moderate those. I'm going to keep an eye on people, but I'm probably not going to have the show up for a couple months. I will do the show. I will probably have another show in about 2 weeks, maybe a week or 2. It all depends. But I'm getting ready for my move, and I'm going to probably go to 2-3 sites in Florida to celebrate. Actually, last night was my celebration for Savannah and all that. My friends don't know it. I'm not going to get into the whole thing of, hey, I chase ghosts in Savannah. But I had a little party last night, and you know, like I told my members, and I'm going to tell my friends, you know, I have a lot to be thankful for. You know, you just gotta be thankful that you're alive, that you're safe, that we've had a productive year. We didn't let no hate groups stop us. You know, we did a very good job, and I think most people will commend us when they look at the hard work we do. And you know, someone asked why we swear. It's because this is an adult radio program. You know, I mean, we're not gonna censor ourselves here. Radio has become so censored. I mean, even you look at Howard Stern. You know, he's gone from radio program to radio program. I used to be a big Howard Stern fan. I still am. And the guy just gets, I mean, it's just not fair what they do to the guy. I mean, he gets fined, he gets kicked off the air, and you know, all the guy is doing is exercising his freedom of speech. And anybody who... Okay, can everybody hear me? We're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. The only problem is when you run a radio show is that sometimes, you know, you can lose power, you can get off the air. I don't know. I'm probably not coming in very well, but yeah, I did get cut off. And if you can hear me clear, let me know. Because I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat room for my viewers. Yeah. I'm going to have to close the radio show, but before I do, what I'd like to actually say about censorship is that our show doesn't have censorship. I mean, it is an adult show for people 18 and older. If you're not 18, you shouldn't be here. We don't want the room filled with a bunch of underage users who are going to just be immature. But so we try to keep the show very open. I know there's a lot of static. It's actually not a problem on my end. It's a problem on their end. I don't know what that's about. I will join the chat. I will join the chat in a few moments. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to actually close the show up. I'm going to play a tune. And then pretty much will end the show. I'd like to say to everybody, have a safe and happy New Year. Remember not to drink and drive. I know that there's a lot of people out there who, you know, they get behind the wheel and they just don't call a cab. They don't get a ride home. When I got drunk yesterday and I smoked out, I actually got a ride home. I played it safe. You know, I didn't get behind the wheel or anything like that. So I'd like to wish everybody a happy New Year. Cheers to, well, coming up to another great year in 2008. If anybody has any more questions before I close out, just feel free to ask. And if anybody wants to donate a phone, I could definitely use a phone. The reason why the radio show actually cut out is because my phone had cut out. I have very old phones. And that's how we do our radio show. We do it by telephone. It's a lot easier than... I could actually do the show by microphone.
Goodbye.
Okay, I'm back live. The show had gotten cut off. I wanted to apologize to those that were in the chat room. Actually, let me explain what happened. Is, you see, what we do is we actually use our phone to connect to the show. And my phone had died, so I ended up grabbing my cell phone to call in. Well, because I got disconnected when I called on a cell phone, now Live had actually cut me off because I was no longer the host. I was actually like a member calling in. So it actually had cut me out on my own show. And so I had to reset up the chat room just now and recall in. So I'm good for at least a few minutes. I'm going to be closing out the show. Of course I'm back. You know, some people call me paranormal. Maybe I am. I don't know. It never matters if the show gets cut off, because even if it gets cut off, I can always call right back in. And, you know, it's not like we're on NBC here, you know, where I got to say, hold, folks, we're having some fucking technical difficulties in the studio. But anyways, what I wanted to say before I close up the show is, yes, the show is no censorship. There's nothing illegal about swearing. We have a disclaimer where if you're 18 and older, you cannot join the show. So, you know, we're fully legal, our show. You know, we're not gonna throw out discriminatory remarks about racism or anything like that, but we will speak our mind, which makes our show fully legal. I like to exercise my use of freedom of speech, just like I like to hold a joint in a cemetery. It's like nobody's gonna tell me what to do. It's my body. I'm going to do what I want to do. But, you know, I like to be a free spirit, and that's what makes me different from other founders, is because I'm not going to come around, I'm not going to tell you people you need to act like saints. You know, I respect you for you. If you want to be yourself, you be yourself. I'm going to be myself in my work. If I'm happy drinking a glass of wine in a cemetery, which I don't do because I'm more of a toker than a drinker, but I'll tell you what. If I want to sit there on a tombstone with a joint. If that's what makes me happy, do it. Because you only get one life. That is something to think about. But, there's going to be always a lot of people that despise this show because, the swearing is going to hurt their virgin ears. And, fuck. It really doesn't matter. A word is a word, man, and you should be able to speak your mind the way you want to. That doesn't give people the right to mistreat others. And I do have a message that I want to get across, is that, 2008 is coming around. It's time for some of you people out there who have done us wrong. You need to start thinking about what you're doing, man, because it's a new year, and you have a choice to make. You can choose to be a friend, or you can choose to just carry on this drama. Because even if you carry it on, I'm not going to stop being me. I'm not going to stop doing what I do. It's just the way it is that respect is given when it's deserved, and if people don't have respect for a guy that sleeps on the streets during his investigations, something's wrong with them. Because it's, you got to respect somebody that works as hard as I do. If I work 40 hours a week at this, I'm putting my time in for a bunch of people on the internet, and that deserves respect. And anybody who laughs at it, they laugh at it because they're jealous. They laugh at it because they're ignorant. And so for all them hate groups, my message to you is the new year. It's time for you to either step up to the plate and be a man about things, or you can continue to, harass me and make hate sites and report me to MySpace and dick around with me. But getting my groups deleted, it doesn't change nothing. I own a private forum. I own forums that belong to me. All you're going to do is nothing. You're not going to accomplish anything by it. It's not going to make me stop going to cemeteries or abandoned places. It's not going to make me stop making friends on the internet. It's not going to make me stop my radio show. I'm not going to stop what I do. And, I'll tell you what, we've got a great group. I met a lot of great people this year. Some of you I've been friends with for a while. And we've accomplished a lot. It's a new year. It's time to hold up the fucking bears. It's time to party. It's time for everybody to start working together. If you're one of these people that's skeptical of me, you're going to see that I'm probably one of the most real people you're ever going to come across on the web. Because I'm not afraid to be me. I see society differently. I figure just because the government tells me that I can't sneak on that area doesn't mean I won't do it. Because, I don't believe in control. I believe that, as long as you're not hurting anybody, if you're not stealing, you're not raping, you're not murdering people, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. And some people try to make it out to be more than what it is, and, it's not. We're a paranormal group. Actually, let me rephrase, we're a paranormal adventure group. Some of you that are in my chat room, I know that I will meet in the future, unless, of course, I die by then. Of course, because I look at death as an option every day. I mean, you can die in a car accident. You can die. Some guy almost got hit with a meteorite in the fucking head a couple months ago. I sent out the article on it. Guy was in his house. The meteorite missed his head by like an inch. If it would have hit his head, it would have went right through his brain and he would have died. So it's like, life is fucking short. Laugh. But you know what? Everybody's number is going to come up. The only immortality is the immortality that you contain in the afterlife. If you know how to, manifest it. If you understand the afterlife, you can almost do anything. As a paranormal investigator, I do try to at least work with the afterlife. I try to understand it. But anyways, I want to wish everybody a very safe and happy New Year. We didn't get any callers. I'm sure in time we will. I understand people are a little bit shy, I don't know. Maybe some people are just afraid to call on the show. Maybe they think I bite. I don't know. But I would like to thank everybody for listening in. I'd like to thank those people who had kind words in the chat room. All of you have been actually fantastic. Last week, the people that came in the chat room, or actually the last couple episodes, were people from that Paranormal Interest Radio, and they came in and started making their rude remarks and shit, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you even in my radio show? You don't fucking like me. Why are you in my chat room? If you don't like the guy, don't be in the fucking chat room. So, and those are just miserable people, and they're hoping to make me miserable. It's not going to happen, because I'm not a miserable person. After I get done with this show, I'm gonna take that bong and I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it for my fans. Then maybe I'll go grab a beer out of the fridge. I'll go drink a fucking beer too. And then who knows? Maybe I'll add more porn stars on Now Live, right? What the hell? And I bet you if I make a porn, you better watch it, because King Flasher, he's watching. They're always watching. Hell, UER's watching me too. They're making threats to me, That fucking guy, that fucking PSI, Mike Stickley, threatened to fucking sue me. Can you believe that? How the fuck you going to sue a guy that makes no fucking money? What the fuck, you going to garnish my wages? That's the nice thing about what I do for a living and not making any money. It's like, you're going to sue me for broken down fucking car? How about my broken EMF detector? It's like, take me to court. The funny thing is, when you take me to court, that'll be the biggest mistake you ever make, and I'll tell you why. Because when I see you in court, our energies are going to cross. All this fucking energy I have from all my investigations, I'm going to put into you. You're going to fucking die. It's cold, but you're going to fucking die. Because you took me to fucking court, and you crossed energies with me. Because my energy's not going to be very nice towards you. As far as my friends go, I'll shake your hand, and I'll give you a fucking hug and a pat on the back. But if you fucking want to take me to fucking court, good luck. I can't wait to see you in fucking court. You'll pay thousands of dollars for a fucking attorney. You'll take me to court. You won't get no money out of me, because you can't get blood out of a fucking turnip. What are you going to sue? The Paranormal Ghost Society for the $50 donations we made in 3 months? So go ahead and fucking sue me. It won't be the first fucking time. So, this guy Mike Stickley thinks he's going to sue me, and then you go look and you find out the guy is a loser. Doesn't fucking work. It's like, yeah, you're going to afford a fucking attorney to sue me. What are you going to sue me for? Because I put your IP address on our fucking site? It's obtained legally. It's public fucking information. But they're going to sue. And, of course, Lord Rick is supposed to be scared of being sued. Come on. I go in graveyards at night by myself. But, apparently he wants to cross energies, so it's like, you won't be suing me. I'll be leaving you a little gift when we fucking meet. You'll be taking it home with you. Nice little paranormal present for you. So yeah, we get assholes that bother us, and I guess they're just ignorant. They try to throw up the lawyer thing thinking they're going to scare me, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not scared. Because even if I didn't have a website, I'd still be out there exploring. I'd still be out there paranormal investigating. It's a Paranormal Ghost Society. Just because you take us to court or you threaten us with court doesn't mean I'm going to quit visiting cemeteries. I'm going to quit being friends with the friends that I've made. So, people like that just need to get a life, and they need to get a grip. But anyways, we're going to close out the night. I actually have a song I'm going to play, and then I'm going to close the show. Obviously, the show is going to be in 2 segments because it cut off. We will put those shows on YouTube. We will put those shows, archive them on our site. We will make those shows available for other radio show hosts who want to re-hear them, as long as they don't mind the adult content, because, this show is an adult show. If anybody has any questions, they can email me. If possible, I will stay in the chat room a little bit after the show if anybody wants to talk or ask questions. But I'm going to be closing up the show. I think I got some token up and drinking to do. It's been a pleasure, folks, and I wish everybody a very safe, a very happy New Year's. Let's toast to a great 2008. Let's toast to our radio show. It's been a great success this month. It looks like our live show is very successful. We're getting a lot of listeners. Looks like there's more people tonight listening. Thank you, fans. I love you all. Thank you, members. Thank you for those who have helped me put together the show, have put together, just a little bit of everything, helping me on all these projects, submitting Paranormal Place in California, joining our group from California. Thank you, everybody. It's been a fantastic year. I survived. Lord Rick lives, and Lord Rick's going to be living in California soon. So Happy New Year's. And I am signing out. This is Lord Rick of the AngelOfThyNight.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.